Hello students and welcome to my channel Maths Hub. So in this video, I'll tell you about how to sketch a curve, right? So if you haven't watched my previous videos on the preliminary topics of curve tracing, so do watch them. They will benefit you to understand the concept of curve tracing, right? So let us try to sketch the curve y square into a minus x is equal to x cube, where a is greater than 0. And this curve is also known as a cissoid, right? So this curve is also known as a cissoid. So as I already gave you a shortcut to trace the curve with the help of the points SOAP. So let us try to check out these points before we trace this curve, right? So let's talk about symmetry. So when we talk about symmetry, you can see that this curve is containing even powers of y. So it will be symmetric about the x-axis, right? So now let us see whether the curve passes through the origin or not. So you can clearly see that when we put x as 0 and y as 0, the curve satisfies it. So the curve will pass through the origin, right? Now let us calculate tangent at the origin. Do we have any tangents at the origin? So to calculate tangents at the origin, we will equate the lowest degree term of the function equal to 0. So lowest degree term is y square is equal to 0. So that will give us two tangents, y equal to 0 and y equal to 0. So these two tangents are real and coincident. So the point 0, 0 acts as a cusp, right? Okay. So now let's talk about asymptotes. Now how to calculate asymptotes? Let us rectify this equation and rewrite this equation as x cube minus ay square plus x into y square is equal to 0, right? Now to calculate rectangular asymptote parallel to x-axis, we equate the coefficient of highest degree term of x equal to 0. So that will not give us anything. So there is no horizontal asymptote. Let us check out, is there any vertical asymptote or not? So for vertical asymptote, we equate the coefficient of the highest term of y equal to 0. So that will give us x minus a is equal to 0. So that is x is equal to a. And now let us check about an oblique asymptote. So let us put y is equal to mx plus c. So when we put y is equal to mx plus c, we will get x cube minus a into m square x square plus c square. So I'm directly putting it up. 2mcx plus x into again m square x square plus c square plus 2m into c into x is equal to 0, right? Let's rearrange the terms. We will get x cube minus am square x square minus ac square minus 2amcx plus m square x cube plus c square x plus 2mc x square is equal to 0. So now let us equate the highest coefficient of x equal to 0. So we will get 1 plus m square is equal to 0. So m square is equal to minus 1 will not give us any real value, right? So that means there is no oblique asymptote, right? So from the points S, O and A, we got that it is symmetrical about x-axis. It is passing through the origin. The tangents at the origin are y equal to 0 and the point 0, 0 is acting as a cusp, and the vertical asymptote is x is equal to a, right? Now let us check another thing about the points of intersection, the P point. What are the points of intersection? So when we put x as 0, obviously y will become 0, and when we put y as 0, then x will also be 0. right? Now the next thing is that x is equal to a is acting as an asymptote. So let us check what happens in the region x less than a and x greater than a. When x is less than a, that means x is negative. So we will get y square into a. So this will become, suppose I put x is equal to minus 2. So I'll get a plus 2 over here and I'll get minus 8. So y square cannot be a negative quantity, so there will be no portion of the curve which is lying towards x less than 0, right? Towards the second and the third quadrant, right? Similarly, when x is greater than a, so when I put x is greater than a, I'll get y square. Let's put x as 2a. So I'll get a minus 2a and here I will get 8a cube. So this will become y square is equal to a minus 2 is minus a. So I will get minus 8a square. So again, y cannot be a real value. So again, there is no portion of the curve which will lie beyond x greater than a, right? So with the help of all these points, let us try to trace this cissoid. So when we trace this cissoid, which type of curve do we get? We saw that x is equal to a is your asymptote. So the curve will just cross, it will not cross this line, it will act as a tangent, right? Okay. Secondly, we saw that there was no portion of the graph beyond x greater than a and no portion of the graph beyond x less than a, right? And x is equal to 0 is acting as a cusp. So the shape of a cusp is like this and it is symmetric about the x-axis, right? So it will go like this, right? So this is how cissoid looks like, right? So thank you so much. I hope you have understood how to trace this curve. So I'll bring another curve to trace in the next video so that the concept is very clear to you. So believe in yourself and do subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed my channel to get the latest updated video. Have a nice day.